Hello and welcome to today's episode of LinkedIn with Louise. And I would just like to say, if you are a new listener to the podcast, you are very welcome. And I'm delighted that you have joined us. I was just checking my statistics there because I like that kind of stuff. And we have some great listeners on Spotify and Google Podcasts. So hello to my Android listeners. I'm also an Android person. I have an Android phone. And that's where I actually listen to all my podcasts too. So hello and welcome to today's podcast. I am going to be talking today about LinkedIn company pages. And the reason being, I realized that it's almost a year since I focused specifically on company pages on the podcast. And yet it's one of the key things that I recommend that my clients actually include as part of their LinkedIn strategy. And we're going to get stuck into that today. Before we go any further, though, I do want to invite you to reach out and have a chat with me about how I can help you and your business with LinkedIn. We are, as we are recording this, we are heading towards 2021, 2020, the year that went on forever. And wouldn't it be wonderful to be entering 2021 with all your ducks in a row on LinkedIn? Whether that is having your profile up to date, having a brand new, fresh looking profile, whether it is updating your content strategy, whether it's just getting started with LinkedIn. I would love to help you with these things. So do reach out to me if that is something you're interested in. Go to louisebrogan.com/call and I'll tell you what's going on there as well. So my website has been, I think we're about episode 148 on this podcast. And for those of you who've been with me since the start, I know that I thank you very much for that. You're wonderful. It used to be called the Social Bee podcast. And then I changed my focus to focus on LinkedIn. And it became LinkedIn with Louise about 40 episodes ago, I think. And I have been getting onto global stages online really in the last 6 months to a year, which has been amazing. I've just recently spoken at Vid Summit Worldwide and Podcast Movement, two big global conferences for their respective audiences, podcasters for one, and YouTubers and video marketers for the other. I also got on Social Media Examiner's social media marketing talk show. And I think this is the big trigger for me, was when they said, Louise, how can people get in touch with you? I said, yes, my website is socialbni.com. And when you have to spell out your website address to people, it's not great. So I've been meaning to change the website for donkeys, and this was the big push that I needed. So it is now louisebrogan.com. Much simpler, much easier, and hopefully easier for you guys to go and find it and check out the articles that I'm writing about LinkedIn and all the good free content I have for you on there. So do go and have a little look. So we're getting properly on brand with Louise Brogan and linking in with Louise. Part of that as well is creating more content for my YouTube channel, which is again called LinkedIn with Louise. And I'm growing that at the moment as well. And I'm just really glad. I had Jessica Morrison, who's a good friend of mine from Cape Cod, came on LinkedIn Live with me last week, and we talked all about branding and the importance of branding and branding across your website and social media. And wasn't it ironic that I didn't actually have that branding across my own website and social media? Well, I do now. So that's a very roundabout way about telling you about how the website is now, louisebrogan.com. So that should be helpful for everybody who is looking for that content. All right. So the other thing I want to tell you about is that I'm going to be running my live 3-part workshop called Power Up Your LinkedIn. Now, in Northern Irish tones, that sounds like Power Up Your LinkedIn. It's POWER. Power. think I said that in lots of different accents. So anyway, Power Up Your LinkedIn, whatever way you want to say it, is a 3-part live workshop that I run. I have run it twice before. It gets brilliant reviews. People really, really enjoy it. I cram so much into it. What is it? Basically, it's 3 parts. We look at the first part is, and in each of the 3 parts is 1 hour of training. So the first part is an hour of looking at your LinkedIn profile and going through your LinkedIn profile in depth with everybody who joins the group. Then we have Q&A. Then the second part, and I do this in 1 week. So if you want to get stuff done, get your LinkedIn sorted in a week, this is definitely for you. So the second part then is looking at content and what works on LinkedIn. How often do you post? What do you do about hashtags? How do you connect with people? Remember, I talk about the 4 pillars of using LinkedIn back in about 6 episodes ago in the podcast. If you haven't checked that out, go and have a listen. It's one of my most popular ever podcast episodes, the 4 key pillars to using LinkedIn. And that's what I dive into in this workshop. So the third part is then how to pull it all together, your profile, your strategy, your content, and how to be consistent on LinkedIn and not have to spend a lot of time on there. People are always saying to me, how much time do you spend on LinkedIn a day? Really, genuinely not that much time. And that's what I teach my clients to do as well. So if that sounds of interest to you, go and have a look on the website on louisebrogan.com workshop. Okay, this is a paid workshop, guys. This is not a free webinar, but it delivers so much value. I think you'll really love it. And if you want to talk to anybody who's gone through it before, I'm happy to supply contacts you can reach out to and hear what they thought of it. All right. Oh yes, the date for that is starting Monday, the 16th of November. Now, if you do want to do a group program like that, I say a program, it's 3 sessions in 1 week. If you don't want to do that in a group, you'd rather work with me one-to-one, brilliant. I'd be delighted to work with you one-to-one. Go and check out the VIP intensives that I offer at louisebrogan.com/LinkedIn VIP. And let's get your LinkedIn sorted for kicking off into the new year. LinkedIn are bound to release some new stats soon, but to grow from 630 million users in January to 710 million plus users at the end of the 4th quarter of this year is just phenomenal, and it just keeps growing and growing. So we want to be part of that, right? We want to be part of that network, and we want to leverage the network and get business from all the people who are spending time on LinkedIn, because why are they there? They're there to build their business network. Right, company pages. What are they? And should you have one? Well, the second question is easy for me to answer because the answer is yes. So what are they? They are, so you have your personal profile. So you have Louise Brogan personal profile. Then you have the company page. The company page is a way for organizations to showcase their business, connect any employees that you have, but you should also have one if you are a solo entrepreneur, and we'll talk about that. A way to promote your products and services and share news and updates about your company with the LinkedIn network. There are 30 million businesses on LinkedIn, and considering LinkedIn company page is only launched in 2018, there's a lot of opportunity here for us. Why do I think you should have a company page? Well, let's start with the difference between the company page and the personal profile, okay? When you create your personal profile, this is the account you use to interact with your network, share your personal thought leadership, and raise your personal profile. Think about using your personal profile as a way to build relationships, connect with individuals and build relationships with those people through your activity on your personal profile. Remember, I talk about starting conversations as the way you approach LinkedIn from the individual point of view. What's the company page do then? The company page is about showcasing the business brand, highlighting your staff, showing people what it's like to work with you, the ethos behind your business, and allows you to recruit as well. Why do you need a company page? So if you have a team, then you 100% need a company page, because you can connect your employees into that page. You can interview your employees. You can create little posts highlighting them, what they do, what their strengths are, and kind of introducing your audience to who works in your company. But the other thing, this applies to entrepreneurs and people who are in a company of more than one. People are looking for your business online. They are searching for what it is that you do. And having a company page on LinkedIn gives you credibility. The more ways someone can find your business, the better. You create your company page and you write in the About section what your company does and who they work with and who your ideal clients are. And it's a way for people to get to know the brand and the business. So if you think about LinkedIn company pages as being the more traditional marketing route, and your personal profile being the way to start conversations as an individual, you'll start to separate out the two and see how they are different. If you're recruiting staff, they're looking at your company page and they're seeing what kind of company you are. As an employee of a company or as a solo entrepreneur who has a company page, you have your company icon in your personal profile introductory card. If you don't know what the introductory card is, it's the bit at the top of your personal profile that has your headline, your name, your profile photograph, and if you went to university or school, your last university or school, and it has the place that you say you work. If that's your own business and you don't have a company page, you have a placeholder image from LinkedIn. Now, I'm not saying create a company page just to replace that little block, but it's not a bad idea. When I was researching for this episode, I saw some companies that I know who are brilliant at marketing themselves online, who have created company pages so that their employees can pull over the company branding onto their personal profiles, but the company hasn't posted anything on their company page. Now, I think that's a mistake. I don't think it's that difficult to share content on your company page once a week, but at least they have a company page. So at the very least, create the company page to help you get found by more people on the internet. Remember, Google loves LinkedIn because of all the content that's on LinkedIn. Remember, when you Google somebody's name, their LinkedIn profile is the most likely thing to appear at the top of the Google screen. Okay. Now, hopefully I'm tiptoeing you down the road of thinking, yeah, maybe a company page is a good idea for us, but what do we write on it? What do we put on there? So, and this is the question I actually get asked by solo entrepreneurs. And we had a chat about this on LinkedIn last week, saying, I just share the same stuff on my LinkedIn company page as I do on my personal profile. Stop, please, don't do that. Your company page is for traditional, here's what our company does, here's the weekly blog that we do, here's the video that we made, here is us introducing you to our clients, here is somebody who works for us, here's our managing director, here's our head of comms, here's our new offices. Your personal profile is about starting conversations around the expertise that you have and want to be known for on LinkedIn. Very, very different. Okay. All right. 4 kinds of content you can share on your company page. Weekly content that you produce. I am a member of Mimo. I've always said Mimo. It's